Hello, everyone. Welcome. We threw it to chat today, and in a couple of tight votes that narrowed it down to one choice, we landed on Core Set 2021, which I decided to make best of three. I didn't ask chat about that. We've been playing a lot of Premiere again in a row, and thought it was time to hit the best of three queue again, especially in this format, which I think it rewards best of three. I think there's a lot of sideboard cards in the packs, and I think the striated nature of the format, where there are some real long game decks that are trying to mill you out and reanimate huge things, or on the long end. But there's also a lot of aggro decks, and when the types of decks you can face are that extreme, that's where sideboarding becomes extra useful, because you can, in games 2 and 3, really look at what your opponent is doing and make adjustments that address the weaknesses of your matchup to the best of your sideboard's ability, right? So I really enjoy the best of three aspect, and we're going to jump into that here over best of one. If we have time, we're going to do something else today. And if you are looking to help me stay on the air, I want you to check out my sponsor, cardkingdom.com. They are purveyors of all the physical stuff you need for your Magic game, whether it's singles, supplies, or sealed product. They got it all. They got it most. They got it most relative to everybody else, especially. And I would highly recommend you keep them on your radar for your purchases. And of course, please remember that my affiliate link in the panels below and in the notes of the YouTube video contain a link that lets Card Kingdom know you got there from here. And that helps me stay on the air. So we can all do this together and keep playing Magic together. That would be awesome. And thank you, Card Kingdom, for helping make that happen. I'm going to hit the draft button, and we're going to jump in here. Oop, that's not the draft button. Here's the draft button. I'm not hearing audio. Let's get some game audio. Speaking of audio, how's the mic today? Making sure. Had some audio issues the last couple of days, or at least multiple different people noticed some audio issues. So I want to make sure we're good there. Thank you for that sub. Elmer says, drafting Eldraine yesterday reminded me that corsets have always been hard set. Corsets. I actually literally read that as corsets. I thought we were getting into vintage clothing issues. I mean, we touch a lot of bases on this channel, so you never know. But corsets have always been hardest for you to draft. Don't know why. I don't know what that would be. I don't know why that would be more difficult for you. Maybe less synergy somehow. You didn't type corset, but my brain is funny. That's all. There wasn't a space between them, is what threw me. Tron is dreaming about me. That you can't even get good Chinese food in your dreams. That is sad. And also, the dream makes no sense, because if you were having a meal with me, you would not be having bad Chinese food. There's just no way. Also, there's no way I'm giving anybody an A+. So there's just a lot going wrong with this dream, Tron. Yes, we're sitting here waiting to fill. This is one of the natures of this queue. That's all right. We'll take it as an AMA time. I'm scrolling through chat here and seeing what people are thinking about today. Razor wants a story. We could talk about. Let's see. We talked about the. We guess we didn't go deep into the new set boosters. They're a little confusing to me still. This is the new product that Wizards is releasing, or the new way to open boosters, a special kind of booster. And I didn't fully parse the whole article. Maybe I even didn't finish it, honestly. But I think, and maybe someone out there can help fill in the gaps where I didn't quite parse all the info. But I don't understand where they're selling this product. and that's a key for me on who it's for. Also, the thing that's weird to me is like they are they when it says set booster, that makes me think it's tied to a set, right? Like, you know, so there's going to be a Zendikar set booster, but it's going to contain potentially all these cards from not Zendikar, right? And in fact, it's going to contain cards that aren't standard legal. That's the weirdest part to me. That you would make a new form of booster for standard sets that contains cards that aren't legal in standard, because that's real. Then really you need that product to land in the hands of players who know what's up, right? That the player I'm most worried about is the newish but engaged and ready to go Magic player who is trying to understand everything, is trying to understand what format legality is and what the rules around deck construction are. And they're like, okay, standard is this. And then they open their set booster and assume that everything inside is for standard. That's not a huge percentage of the population. I think mostly the population either is totally on top of it and can look up what's legal and standard all by themselves and knows it by heart, or just truly doesn't care at all, and it doesn't matter that there's formats in Magic at all, right? So those two groups can handle this booster. I'm just a little worried about the middle group that might not know what's going on while they're trying to figure out what's going on. All right. Wow, some good picks here. We have a lot of heavy hitters. This is one of the better packs I've seen. Let's see. Let's count good cards. 1, 2, 3. I don't count that as good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, we're going to wheel something decent, you know, battlements, stalker, snout, land. So I think I'm going to take the salvo. The rare, this has been effectively a 2-for-1. You kind of want to pair it with green to get a lot of beef going on, but actually red has big enough creatures that, and just generally Magic has enough creatures that this is good in almost any red pairing. So we're going to take this, and I'll kind of be sad that this pack is so loaded, but better than it being empty, right? All right, here we've got Hunter's Edge. I really like pairing this with green, as I said, so Hunter's Edge leaps out at me as pickable. There is Scythe, which is in a color I'm not super interested in being in, or like moving into. Ghostlight and Swooper, also fine, but I think Hunter's Edge is better than these two anyway. I think I just have, literally I have Hunter's Edge above Ghostlight and above Swooper, and it's the card I would want best with our first pick. So I'm going to grab the Hunter's Edge. Sometimes this wheels, like we can end up, if we end up green-red, big ramp, then you want a Hellkite Punisher. So perhaps this wheels. We'll see. Palladium Mirror. Whoa. That goes right into what I'm talking. There's another edge, though. This is interesting. I feel happy about where we're headed here. Second edge, Big Dreadmaw, whatever ogre we hope to wheel, and Pride Malkin would also be a nice wheel. This is a pretty special card. It does things that no other card in the set does. You know, to add 2 mana at 3. You know, ramping from 3 mana to 6 mana is big game. But I am kind of with chat that we take another edge. And partly because if we're in green, we do have a shot at the common Elvish Mystic. And so even though this does something no other card in the set does, which is tap for 2, the Elvish Mystic is a good common fallback option for this card. And removal remains premium. So I'm going to start with 3 removal spells. And 4 removal spells. This kind of makes me want the mirror, though, to be honest. But I think we just take it. I mean, right? Sure. It's that good. Wow, look. Maybe this is a stip draft where I can only take Hunter's Edges. All 5 of our opening packs had Hunter's Edges in them. I kind of want to take Dowser because it's a Hunter's Edge or a Salvo. But this is comical. All right, fine. It's too funny. I don't even know if it's right, but it's too funny to not do, I think. We can take... we also don't have to marry the Salvo. We can be green anything at this point. We can take Carrion Grub and actually have a reason to do this. Carry on my wayward son. But I don't know if that's right. I think we should probably just... The Mutt's good, right? I mean... Hunter's Edge on a Larcenist is interesting, but not great. They need to be 2 toughness. All right, if you're in for the Mutt, I'm in for the Mutt. Just making sure that this isn't enough better than the Mutt. But the Salvo is real good, so we want to try and play that. If I drafted differently, we could have 1 card. That would be a screenshot for the ages, frankly. An MTGA draft that just shows 5x Hunter's Edge, no other cards in your draft pile. Hobble Fiend over the 3-drop, I think is correct. Tron wants the Piggy. I think, given the choice, I want to take 2 drops over 3s, but we'll find 3s to fill. Oh, here I'm supposed to be... Here. Razors on Pig. Wow. All right, I'll give in to chat on this one. I don't mind the Pig. It was my second choice for sure. I just felt that 2 drops were more important in the format. We can go Furious Rise here, though. I like a Cur, all right, but Furious Rise is the 4-power payoff I like. And this is the right color pair for it, so let's take it. Yeah, that's part of what I was thinking, is that we were intending to wheel Piggy from that stellar first pack, and we did, in fact, wheel it. We'll take it here. Whenever I hear that snort, the beginning licks of Pig's 3 Different Ones by Pink Floyd start playing in my head. Basically that. Every time I hear that pig noise, you know that that little keyboard lick is going on in my head. Short Sword. Doesn't feel like this is the deck for it. It feels like Short Sword is playable when you're turning 2 2s into 3 3s, not turning 6 6s into 7 7s. Take a Wizardry. I don't think we're bailing on the green, but with 4 Hunter's Edge and a Salvo and a Furious Rise, like, Wizardry might be playable here. We played, thank you, Magic Host. We played Wizardry yesterday in a non-red blue deck, and it was quite successful because we did have the density of instants and sorceries, and things like Crash Through were part of what made that happen. So I'm going to take the Crash Through. Tron was still on the sword. I don't know, anybody else? Yeah, I get that short swords work specifically with Pteranodon, but then you get into, like, if that's it, if that's all you got for me, short sword turns on Pteranodon, I'm out. Like, I would rather play kitties to do that, you know, other things to do that. But if we got nothing else to do it with, sure. But I also, you know, in that case, I like that pick. Here I'm going to take Vault Progress. That's another good point, Zach. Like, we are already really pressing how many other non-creature spells we can even run here. We can take a Sure Strike here. Yeah, I'll take the Sure Strike. We are red-green. I say that, and then we always get into these weird pivot situations. I'm having a hard time imagining what happens to pull us out of red-green. I suppose we could be pulled out of red. Like, our red is okay, but not great. But I don't think we can pass Quad Hunter's Edge, you know, give up on that. Anyway, yeah, I feel like we're red-green, but I also need to be open to the idea that perhaps something besides red screams at us, like a lieutenant. You know, this is good. Rob says white is open. Well, let's look at the opportunity costs here. Invigorating Surge is nice, but it's an instant or sorcery, and we need to consider our creature base here. Right now we have Magmut and 2 Truffle Snouts. Full stop. Yeah, we can make some tokens, but right, in terms of creature spells, yeah, Surge is okay. It's just we need to be we need to be somewhere else. I'm going to spec on the Lieutenant, given that the only cost is a Surge that I'm not certain we can fit in our deck at this point. Yeah, opportunity cost for taking the Lieutenant, pretty small, so we're going to do that and see what the table ships us. And here we go, like no red here at all, but a Feat of Resistance. And only a Truffle Snout as the cost. I'm going to follow this possible pivot. Yeah, and I'm not looking to force this. You know me, I'm really trying to, you know, if anything, I marry my colors a little too early sometimes, especially that second color. I will marry a second color too early. So I'm not trying to get fancy and chase a pivot, but I do think it's the right pick here. Truffle Snout, not good enough, and probably we wheel it. And the red is not flowing. I mean, this red is here, but we're not that. So the red seems like it's being cut. The white seems like it's open. I think we really need to stay open to the idea that we are actually a green-white deck here. So that's funny. You know, I'm sitting here talking about locking into red-green and being done with, and then I go, wait, I say that, and then almost as if to show drafting the hard way, the packs deliver some confusion. But we're going to take the white card here. Azusa, not a real card unless you're collection building, which we could do. Pivoting back to red on the Hobble Fiend. Probably what we're doing here. Oh no, sorry, Savior. Savior is enough better, and I'm trying to read the signals, read the table. The table seems to be telling us that white is open, so let's kind of push. I really do have also really like the white-green. So if we can get the white-green hookup, like the dream here is that we see what the table is telling us, we make a pivot, and then the green-white mentor shows up, right? That's what, so here we go, right? Here's where we're getting paid. The green-white mentor. Oh, there's a gold uncommon, and not the one we're looking for. Still, more signs that we've made the correct pivot, though. Daybreak Charger, Alpine Watchdog, imminently playable. Ogre, Burn Bright, playable, less so. Also, there's a Death Toucher when you've got Quad Edge is not the worst. But yeah, I think since we're not looking to be the Houndmaster deck, we'll take the Charger. Rocket is out there barking in objection of us passing the dog. Actually, Rocket is out there barking at the construction crew tearing down the house 2 doors over. Rocket is really upset about the price of progress. Yeah, blue is pretty wide, but what do we do? I mean, there's pivoting, but come on, we can't realistically pivot to that. We could take a Thornwood in case we want to splash something blue. But I think we take Kerr in case we end up red. We may be white, we may be red, but like I'd rather have the Kerr than a possible splash in blue. But yeah, blue is wide. Like blue-white could have been. Yeah, there's a lot of different directions we could have been legitimately pulled here. And now the green is dried up and the white is effectively dried up. Maybe we want Pegasus. Which are we more? I mean, it's like, this is somewhat decision time. I think we take Pegasus. If we end up green-white, Hunter's Edge after we put a, you know, maybe this becomes a 2-4 and then we Hunter's Edge it to a 3-5. White-red. I don't think we are white-red. Pireling, make sure you just do a vanilla test on that. I mean, a 1/3 2-drop is playable. It's not exciting, but it's playable. And then if you get some benefit out of the Pireling double strike thing, awesome. But fundamentally, it's a 1/3 2-drop. Blossoming Sands in best of 3. I could take Judgment. Land is good though. Might allow, yeah, I'll take a land because we could that opens the possibility of splashing edges in white red, which I don't love, but I'll keep our flexibility here. I really don't like 3 colors in aggro, but you do what you must sometimes. Yeah. Another maybe main deck, maybe sideboard. But look at this. How open is blue? I mean, not that these are any of them super amazing cards, but this is pretty good. Yeah, where'd the green go? Like, no green at all. Suddenly blue is just lying in the street. Like it's nothing. I don't know even what's going on now. What is going on? What are we doing? What are we? Who are we? What colors are we? We could be any Naya pair at this point, I think. Any Naya pair. Heroic Intervention is an excellent constructed card, but not really the reactive tool you want in Limited. It's playable. It's just not the bomb that it is for keeping your constructed stuff good. So now we got Gaggle Master or Dragonfire pulling ourselves towards one of these. We just get how about a 12th edge? Well, maybe our little foray into white was just that. A little foray, but not actually what we're going to do. Or maybe we splash the Lieutenant with the Sands. We still do need dudes. But I don't see a dude here. I mean, you take a Savior, but that's not the dude we're talking about. And neither is the Ogre, right? I think it's perfectly reasonable to be aware that we need some dudes. Like maybe we have to take a dude over another Dragonfire. But I kind of like just going full on... full on removal. Well, we're not necessarily not white yet. War Furnace would have stayed white. We still could be white. Some calls for the kitty, which is fine too. Although that's, we're getting away from the idea that we're like, are we green? I don't know. This deck is confusing. I'm going to take the Malkin, but I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. There's so much weirdness with this pull. And of course, we got Enthralling Hold. There's a Tempered Veteran, but another Feat. I took a Savior over here. Again, the green-red in here, not good enough. But Feat is... no creatures, 3 feet, 6 edges, exactly. This is getting rough, I admit it. I think I have to take a Veteran just because it's a 2-drop. Or the Snout, yeah. I think this maybe wheels. Actually, probably doesn't. Green has been so contested, I should not count on wheeling green. And here we go. We have a Houndmaster that could just pull us off green as a main color entirely. 1, 2, 3... Visionary is the green pick. So Houndmaster, Visionary is where we're in. Tempting, but all right. You want the Houndmaster, Kali? Kali wants to head Boros. It's a train wreck with some excellent cards in it, though. Highlands. I guess, yeah, we're going to be greedy. Take the land and mix it up here. I don't know what else to do. Malkin here over Fatty. Yeah, Falconer would have been fine, but we need Malkin over Dreadmaw in this case. I feel like this draft made me draft the hard way, right? I don't know. This was tough, wasn't it? Dreadmaw. Take this sword. Do we have a sword? I don't think we're running a sword ever. At least it's colorless. But I don't think we're playing Unleash Fury either. We don't have any Pteranodons that need activation. I'll take the sword, but board it. Meteorite for the fixing. Ugh, you just never want it. I'm going to take Charger. Principal. Maybe we just need creatures of any kind. Take the Sentinel just in case we have to run it. Bone Pit Brute in case we have to run it. All right. What I'm going to do here, cut everything and put in our pulls. Feet is a pull for me. This is a pull. This is kind of a pull. Savior's real good. I'm going to call those three my pulls in white. I think they're just trying to mix it up faster, Haj. They're trying to leverage human drafting to make available for the first time all human drafts of older formats on Arena. It seems like they're just trying to cycle through them quickly so you don't get too bored with the old school offering of the week. All right, so if you want to add something to that consideration, that's fine. Dragonfire, Salvo in red as the huge pulls, and then just a lot in green. So I think clearly we're heavy green. I'm going to pull in our green. I think we got to run all of our green. So there's that. And then now I'm going to take a look at what heavy white looks like. And here I know, yes. Oh, it won't even let me leave? All right, fine. Let's look at heavy white first. Can't see running Secure the Scene main with quad Hunter's Edge, though. Comes up somewhat short on playables. We might need to run these dumb Sentinels. Ganmore wants to look at 2s as the factor. Absolutely, I agree. First, I want to get this up to 40 cards so that I can come back. Let's see. What if we splashed, like, we don't need to splash a Dragonfire, though. If we just have the playables, we wouldn't need to splash. Like, I'm going to do this just to get, so I can do this. Haj says better than the Sentinels, but look at our digits, Haj. That gets us to 15. Do you want to run, you want to cut Sentinels in a 4-edge feet deck? I don't know. I don't love this card, but I love having the creatures down. That's what we'd have to do if we didn't play red, though, right? And I refuse to bring in Dub main. I just won't. I acknowledge that this has its matchups, and I look forward to finding them and bringing the Dub in. But I am not convinced that Dub is correct main, unless desperate. If we decide we're desperate, we could do it. But to run no red, we're looking at something like this, or dub, or secure. Oh, I admit it. Yes. I would say I didn't lose to Dubtron. I would say I lost to a Mythic Uncommon, but like I don't think we win that game if you don't have Dub, for example, right? Dub effectively made that stupid thing win more. Maybe we would have found some blockers without the Dub. I don't know. I have to go back and watch. You probably rewatched. But yes, I've also never denied that when Dub lands and your opponent doesn't have an answer, you know, I've never argued that Dub does nothing. I've only argued that the risks outweigh the reward for me on a main deck choice. Yeah. Haj says, careful about playing this on 3, which is, of course, my concern is that you get blown out with the 2-for-1s, and Haj's mitigation of that is that you wait till they've expended removal, wait till they are top decking, and then drop the Dub that they can't answer. All right, so we took a look at this. I'm gonna even cut the Sentinels, cut the all of the white. Oops. And now just look at what red as a secondary main looks like. I don't know if we want Sure Strike with all of our approach to removal in this one. Probably just need a Bone Pitter. And this is 10. See, this is 10 creatures. I think we have to be base white because of the creature count. So, yeah, I mean, we could, but like again, you see what I'm saying, right? Like, yeah, I can throw the Sure Strike in, but it just makes it look even worse here. So, looks like it has to be white-green, right? This does not support our cards. There's just not enough creatures there. So, now the question is, are we splashing? And we get back to where we were. One of these. Oh, wait, sorry. That was the other one we were looking at. One of these. And cut that. Oh, geez, we have to cut that. Oh, no, here we go. All right. That, and then no. There, sorry. That's what I'm looking for. And then, yeah, like if we're splashing for a Dragonfire when we have 4 Hunter's Edge, and I'd rather just play the clunky colorless, like cut a Silent Dart and add in a cheaper but red one. I think we don't splash here. I think we accept that drafting the hard way has produced some 20 through 23rd cards that we're not happy with, but but 15 creatures is just so much better. Yeah, I probably want a sword over a dart, but I am not thrilled with a short sword, let me tell you. But I do like a short sword main over Dub, and that's because the 2-for-1 factor goes away a little bit. Dub gives you the 2/2 in the first strike. Sword is cheaper, colorless, and lets you move it around. They both disappoint me on power level a bit, but I think I'd rather start with a short sword, and then if we have a matchup that justifies it, bring in the Dub. War Furnace wants to secure the scene. That's fair. This is pretty clunky. We can do that. The installment plan is nice. I mean, this has to have 5. This can technically get there on 4. So, yeah, we're not happy with these Sentinels, but if you want to cut the Sentinels, you have to tell us what you want to do instead. And then when you look at what your options are, you realize, oh, it's darts or splashing. Darts, Dub, or splashing. That's your choice. So we went with Sentinels. We're at 15? 15-8, which I like. I'm not cutting a forest for a Dub. We do have a Dreadmaw. We do have a short sword. I'm not adding more pressure on our need to have creatures. Hodge wants to cut 1 Sentinel for a dub. Boy, I am being pressured hard to run 2-for-1's main deck. I'm not going to do it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm standing by my heuristics, principles, and experience and gut. Dub. Is there a music joke we can make between dub and edge? Edgy dub. Well, I don't want to refuse to play dub out of principle. I want to refuse to play dub because my logic makes sense and then adjust if I'm wrong, but I'm just not convinced I'm wrong yet. That's pretty good. Double master. Also want to see if any... oh, here. Sorry, I'm going to turn on my bling redemptions now. If anybody wants to redeem bling, now's your chance, but you should use the bling map to decide and let me know. Want to make sure that we're not bogged down in that. That's fine. Yeah, I like that. We'll go with that. Elk. We're in. Where'd I go? Is this the elk? Who's the elk? Oh, there's the elk. Sorry. Thanks, Paul. All right, I'm going to leave these lands, call this good, and try it out. That was a weird, tough draft. We pivoted when I didn't think we were going to. But here we are. Get to Battlefield and update all of our stuff. I'll do a T-poll, T-par. How many, what's our average win count on this one? Blossoming Sands, showing why I love these lands. If this were a Plains, we'd be really uncomfortable with this hand. As it is, we can happily keep. We can keep. Oh my god, that dog is making noise! Shut up! I know some people in chat who are happy right now. Let's see. We can go Veteran for the 1-2, but Daybreak Charger for no value does put free power on board, and Hunter's Edge could make that even better. Let's just go with the Charger. And then Veteran coming down late, hopefully with some stuff already with counters on it. Shock incoming. Sure felt like a shock pause, but they didn't do anything. powerful, but not the worst for us. We get to Truffle Snout and Swing for the counter here. Cardboard Live is open. Let me know if it's working for y'all. Well, now, nice, interesting start from Oppo. Anthem backing these counters. We've got Hunter's Edge that will let us get through, not with the Charger unless we want to trade. Huh. It was open. I just maybe had to click on it. Okay. Anyway, so let's read Lieutenant, right? And I see the request. I'll get there in a minute. Put a opponent in target creature control whenever control dies. Okay, so let's go ahead and put a counter on the Charger, send both, and then if they trade off with the Charger, we still get a creature. Had to actually read my creature. You can be a big thing too. Wasn't it you? I don't know. Somebody was, no, it was a War Furnace, maybe? Was it just observing that this wasn't, that the Artifact Deal 3 is just kind of worse for this deck than the Secure is? Looks like, screams like Feat of Resistance to me, because they go Feat, they put a counter on this, this becomes a 4-3, a 4-5 and eats the Lieutenant. So we are not gonna, we're just gonna let him crash in. We are for Sure Strike. There's all sorts of things it could be, but we're gonna just try to leverage our Hunter's Edge advantage coming up here. And we'll find out. If it's Feat of Resistance, they'll sure let us know, won't they? Trading cards for damage there. We're okay with that if we can stabilize here. Secure the Scene. This is really bad, though. Like, I would actually much prefer the 3 damage spell for what that's worth right now. Let's observe that. With Glorious Anthem, that 1/1 White Soldier is a hell of a drawback. That doesn't work. Oh, it is non-land. Wow, that's weird. Secure the Scene being a non-land permanent is quite weird. But I think you're right. Yeah, we probably should do that. I actually thought I was like, oh, this can't be permanent. But yeah, I guess they're securing the scene, not the person. Do we want to do that with this turn though? Yeah, because we can just edge the Charger and these have Vigilant, right? Yeah, I like that observation. Just edge and leverage our Vigilant stuff. We find a land we can Veteran and edge next turn. And now they kind of have to stay back and block. Not kind of. In fact, I think we just win now. That's cool. Four edges is all right. He gave us a little edge. Well, in that case, like, I guess this turned out to be about the same because we can use, at least the secure can get rid of the enchantment. So yeah, we'll keep secure. We'll give you the whole deck, but you'll only need the edge. So I don't know. I'm like looking like we have, as though we have options or something. Dub could be decent in this. Is this a dub matchup? Do you like dub or short sword here, given what we've seen? That's kind of the fundamental question on that front. Dub or short sword? The burn as removal makes me want dub. White removal in the form of like swift justice. Although we have a, if we try to put dub on our vigilant stuff, then dub seems pretty good in the matchup. I think I'm going to try dub over sword here because of that logic. Yeah, and the prowess. Yeah, I almost made a U2 joke in the deck name, but couldn't quite come up with one that was worthwhile. Can't keep this. Not with big stuff and not both of our colors. That looks a lot better. I'm going to keep, and I'm going to toss a plains and take a little risk here. We have a Concordia Pegasus, and any land gets us Visionary on 3 if we draw it right away. Like, there's a tap land that could prevent us from Visionary on 3 if we draw it in the wrong order. But certainly this is the risk I'm going to take. All right, got our land. We'll drop a Peggy. Yeah, I was kind of expecting this attack. Honestly, because we have the Visionary to support the edge play, I'm going to call their bluff and block. Although, what I don't want is for them to have some value spell, some cycle effect at instant speed where they make this a 3/3 at no card cost. Is there any risk of that? Like, I'm basically willing to trade the Pegasus for any card. Yeah, thank you, Norbert. There we go. Thrill or Defiant Strike are both good calls, and I'm going to say no blocks. Thanks. But that was my thinking. Like, probably that was a bluff attack, but Defiant Strike we saw, and Thrill is in all sorts of red decks, and so it was smart to, in that case, not risk our Pegasus. Especially with the turns we have coming here. We'll see if they want to use any of their resources on killing the Visionary. If so, we still have Hunter's Edge on Pegasus killing the Immolator if they use up all of their mana on their turn. We're going to try and punish that dub, but we don't quite have the mana, the creature for it yet. We're going to go Lieutenant, and then the Lieutenant should be able to take out the 4 toughness Immolator with Edge after that. We got to take some beatings in the meantime, though. Can this counter itself? It can. We could make a 4/5 right now and see if they even want to send in. But the Edge should get it done, and they appear stuck on land. So I'm going to just go with Lieutenant, counter on Peggy, accept another attack, and then go for the Edge after that, and should probably claim the game if they don't find a land here or do something significant. Yeah, but the relevant number here is the 4 toughness and the 3 power plus 1 power being enough, right? So that is my play. I'm going to do that. If we're really concerned, we could even chump with the Visionary. We don't even need the Visionary that much, although we have Dreadmaw coming. Oh, I hear you. Yeah, thank you, True. Yeah, True is observing that my planned block wouldn't have worked out the way I thought. Thank you. Streaming's hard. People tell you stuff that's good and true, and it takes a second to process what people mean. Two mana up is scary as crap, though. Feat of Resistance is all right. That's actually good. I don't mind this. I don't mind them tapping out of white. I'll tell you that. Yeah, I tend not to play around the doubler, but maybe I should more. I don't know. I haven't seen it all that much, but I've seen it. Definitely have seen it. So now we do get Hunter's Edge plus Feat of Resistance up. That's really nice. And looks like the auto tap is not going to screw me. Well, yeah, we edge. If it's that's true. If it's a shock, they could make it big enough still. But in that case, oh, here's the thing: if they go shock, we go Feat of Resistance on our edge target. Well, 2-for-1 us. How do you 2-for-1 when you're sacrificing? And also, we have the feat to prevent that. So let's start here, and then follow with whatever feat we need to do. At 5, though, we now need to stay back. I'm going to stay back both. I don't want to lose to removal because of Cur pumps or whatever. Although, it takes a lot of pumping to get to 5. Oh, Vigilance, thank you. Yeah. I forget this guy has Vigilance. He is a guy. Thank you. I'm keeping the Pegasus back, though. I want 2 blockers, bottom line. Man, I have trouble with these icons sometimes, as everybody does. We had someone yesterday in our streamer showdown. Fellow streamer attacked into my first striker for no value because she didn't see the icon. And I'm just going to offer Peggy for this. It's got a counter on it, so even if they kill it, the lieutenant gives us a creature. Dreadmaw, swing our Vigilance, seems fine. Maybe it was a classic, we're done here. Yeah, style points pump. F6 pump, you know what I mean? Not attacking with the Visionary because I need the mana for this here Dreadmaw. Solid. But we can chump with our 2-2 and get our dude back and still win the game. So Hail Mary from Oppo isn't going to be enough unless... I guess they could go Mountain Shock after this. That would be quite shocking indeed. But I think we go to 1 and risk it. Because I don't want to kill this. We need to crack bag with it. The other thing we could do is just block with Lieutenant. We get another 2/2, and we have the Dreadmaw still. So it seems hard to chump with our big rare instead of our 2/2, but it actually does play around Mountain Shock, so I'm going to do that. While keeping our Dreadmaw alive. Yeah, they would have shocked with the greed mana. So maybe I was playing around air, but at least I came up with a sequence that could produce a loss that we could play around, so I did. It maybe didn't make sense in the final analysis, but at that point I was just trying to come up with literal cards that could do something, you know? All right. Good game, everybody. Thanks for the reminders when needed. All right. Another fine opener. Need one more land and we're good. One more land and we're pretty darn good. And there's one more land. Wouldn't mind a 2-drop now if I can ask for things, but I'm happy with how this is playing out. I guess I can ask for things. Thank you, Magic Gods. Must be my week. No blocks. I'm going to try and use that veteran to good effect in a little bit. Lands keep coming, which I'm fine with if we can find some action here. That's not bad. We can even attack veteran. They got no blocks. Which, again, I should have thought about before I even did anything, but... kind of want to offer the Glide Master trade. But we have Swift Response. There's no need to make that trade. Hat pointing out that once we have 5 mana, which we do now, we can do some shenanigans with full control. Well... Ordering on edge, 2 counters off it. Well, yeah, but you don't need to order, right? I don't understand what you mean. Hat. Like, basically, to do what you're saying, Hat, we Hunter's Edge, we put a counter on something and it fights, and then we put another counter on. There's not a window, just a side Magic rules thing. When a thing goes on the stack, you can't break it up. You can't break it up into parts. You can't do something between put a +1/+1 counter on and... then that creature deals damage. All of this happens all at once. It's the quark of Magic. You can't split that or you cause nuclear bombs. Well, I'm bugging them, so they're bugging us. Let's go like this. And... oops. Well, I guess I didn't really have that chance there either way. I'm going to all attack now. Could have tapped the Visionary, but we also got 4 damage in. So we traded 1 counter on the Visionary for 4 damage right now. With depending on how long the game lasts, that 4 damage could have been the correct purchase. Of course, there it made it small enough to be killed by the geyser, so... now let's go... Charger, let's see, Charger, Swift Response. Or we can go Visionary, Swift Response, and then Charger next time. Or let's go Visionary and see what we draw anyway. I'm going to start with Visionary, see what we draw. Another land. So now we'll go Charger and send the vet. Next turn we have Swift Response and Hunter's Edge. Should be a good turn for us. We don't have Swift Response, Hunter's Edge, and vet. Oh, we do. We actually have Edge, Swift, and make a counter. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total mana for 4, 5, 6, 7 things we want to do. And regarding the can't split a Quark of Magic, which is a block of rules text, there is one exception to that, and it's the card that actually makes me angriest in Magic that it exists. Can anybody come up with the card I hate most in Magic? Thank you. Ganmore has it. Panglacial Worm is in my opinion, the worst modern Magic card ever printed because it does something that does not work in the rules. That card does not work. That card is hand wavy. Don't pay attention to this. And I'll get into that more if you're curious why it doesn't work. I'm trying to decide now what the state of the race is. I'm going to accept this. Again, we have the Swift Response play. Because searching for your library is a thing that happens in the middle of a Quark, right? If your Quark says, search your library, Panglacial Worm suddenly says, in the middle of your Quark, let's resolve a creature spell. Like, what happens if in the middle of Rampant Growthing, I cast Panglacial Worm and you counter? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. It should not exist. I hate that card. Especially now, you're also talking to somebody who worked on digital Magic implementations. Implement that digitally, please. Oh, Dub is fine. Dub is just a should we do this or not? All right, sorry. Oppo getting mad at me too. I'm going to Swift Response the Glide Master. I'm going to Hunter's Edge the Augur, and then, well, it's Hunter's Edge. Charger on Augur. Swift Response this thing. And pump this thing. Dub is playable. I think I've been pretty consistent on Dub. It's a high-risk card that has matchups where it's worth it. But I also think people overplay it. I think it's a high-risk card that people don't mitigate the risk enough on to be worth playing as consistently as people do. Yeah, the thing you could do with Panglacial Worm to make it function is have, you could splice something into the Quark, but it can't be something that creates a new stack. You could say, whenever you search your library, exile Panglacial Worm. You may exile Panglacial Worm from your library. If you do, you may cast Panglacial Worm this turn. Right? Oh, I know, Haj, but you know me. I got to be very careful about what I say. Even when I'm careful, it doesn't... Oh, and I'm playing lands without thinking because I'm chatting too. But let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total mana for 8. So we kind of needed it anyway. Let's go secure that scene. I didn't like Swing Charger because I didn't want to offer the trade. I like Charger winning this combat here. And I'm going to save the snout, though, and just... Oh, that's true. Pumping it a 2-for-1. But that's an onboard trick, right? They're not going to... I presumed that Appa wouldn't fall for an onboard trick. I mean, some people do. If that's your only out, you got to try and get him with the onboard trick, but... that is from The Lion King. I didn't know either. That I should give credit. Also, let's see. That was a Foil King idea refined by Skeptical Hat and others in the Discord. So if you want to collaborate on making memes for this channel, it's happening in Discord. You can always reach out to me directly. Slam Dunk has sent me a bunch of memes that he's shared directly with me. And here we have attack in with the non-veterans and throw counters around on whatever is not blocked. You want to attack all? I guess it's the same amount of damage, but this way we put a counter on something, right? That's my read. Same damage, but we get a counter. I guess I would say if you really want to see what Wizards decided with that dumb Panglacial Worm, go cast it, go search your library with it in your library on Magic Online and see how it handles it. But it's a bunch of nonsense. You can't make new stacks while resolving, in the middle of resolving a stack element. Or how about this? If I have some subtleties of the rules wrong, true, Wizards should not ever be printing cards that try to do something within the quark, the resolution of a quark. It's just, it's bad design, and it's bad. It's especially really bad digital design. It's really just throwing your digital team an unnecessary curveball. And that card was made at a time where Wizards Digital and Wizards R&D were not communicating very well. So, we are up against blue-red. We are looking... Trying to look at the... Can I look at the graveyard? No. There we go. Just blue-red spells. Kinetic Augur is a big sign of that. Spellgorger Weird is a sign of that. Always a powerful deck archetype. Not much to do. The bounce in blue makes me not want to dub it, though. I'm going to keep the short sword. And I don't see... We had another spot where Dart maybe would have been better than Secure, but I still feel like Secure is largely, in the abstract, better than the Dart, so we're going to keep it in. Oh yeah, Slayton. I mean, that's why the card was printed. You know, it was printed because Magic designers need to push the envelope. Magic designers need to do something you've never seen or thought of before. Whoa! Every set needs to blow your mind somehow, or it's failing a little bit. And so the worm is just a design effort to blow your mind. It just does it in a way that I think causes more trouble than it's worth. Bummer. Stuck on colors, but I'm going to keep this one. And, boy, throwback an edge. Yeah. I totally get why they went there. I just prefer a better synthesis of... Well, I had this choice before, and I went Charger. We want Charger attacks better early, but we don't get the +2/+0 effect. If we can successfully attack with a Veteran as a 3/2, it largely makes up for not running out the 3/1, but no guarantee we're able to do that. Also, we're going to be doing Visionary next turn anyway. So again, I'm going to follow my path from before. I'm going to play the Charger for no value because my sequencing here has us going 3/1 into 2/2 into Edge. And I want to be able to choose the 3/1 as an Edge target on turn 4. Youngfire is attributing a quote to Ben S. that implies limited magic is heavily influenced by luck. I mean, I think that's certainly true. Whether I think his statement is true, probably not. Ben is very hyperbolic. I find Ben to be one of those pros whose statements you need to deconstruct into what he actually means versus what he literally said. Haj had a different line that I will explore later, but my mind's already moved on, so I'm going to stay focused here. I don't like edging a Sky Scanner. This screams Goblin Wizardry to me, so we should ask ourselves what happens if it's Goblin Wizards. And I think a Short Sword on the Charger, leaving it, then having a Veteran mana after, or Veteran Pegasus mana is fine. We can also, but I don't want to offer the Visionary. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Let's go Short Sword. Charger, so that if they want to go for the Wizards here, we still get them both. And I'm going to leave the Visionary back because I don't want to trade that for 2 Wizard tokens. But I would trade the Charger for that. And then no tokens yet. However, we go Veteran, we can put our first token on. I'd rather go Pegasus, though. Next turn, go Hunter's Edge, cast the Veteran, and then have the 1-mana ability after that. Although we could also just play Veteran, Hunter's Edge, and then have the Veteran ability. Yeah, let's do that. Veteran into Hunter's Edge gives us the double whammy, so I like it. Totally. Pegasus is nice for the scanner, but we're at 19. We have a lot of time to protect our life total. I want to get our engine going. Nice Dowser for Oppo, but we're going to undo it all here, or try. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 mana for Savior, 1 mana for Veteran, 4 mana for Edge. And I'm going to Edge. I want to spread it around, but I don't mind getting the Charger bigger here. I'm going to Edge Charger on Dowser and make sure it's leaving me the right stuff, which is not, of course. So let's do this. The race is on. I'm scared, though. You can win out of nowhere to 2 Goblin Wizards, especially with 2 more on the horizon. I don't think we lose this turn at 18 to 2 Goblin Wizards, which is why I didn't, try to protect against potentially losing this turn. If somehow Oppo turns 6 mana into a wizard win here. I'm going to salute heartily. All right. Looks like no. And looks like we can expect more wizards. Pegasus will be nice to get going with counters if they don't answer our veteran. Oh, it did. Well, let me try restarting Cardboard Live. I'm gonna leave. I gotta see if CBL doing here. Sorry, Oppo. Doom. Try Cardboard Live again. Hopefully it's working. One mana short of putting a counter on the Pegasus before we untap. I've just distracted Haj. I know that probably wasn't optimal, but I was Cardboard Live distracted, so please forgive any suboptimals there. Reasonable card. Sublime Epiphany. The only problem is it takes so long to resolve because of all the clicking you have to do. I'm just going to let it all happen here and see where we end up. No attacks. Charge, sword. Let's make it 3/3. To me, a format being aggro doesn't mean it's all aggro. It means that there's multiple successful, viable aggro decks. And so that's what I think. To me, that's what it means, and I think that that's still true about this format. That if you're not ready to be able to handle one of those aggro decks, you are giving up a lot of percentage in the format. Like, the only true aggro format that I've ever played in terms of, like, this is an aggro format, is Zendikar. Triple Zendikar was straight up an aggro format. There weren't really other options. Visionary, I do want to get counters going, but we got to find a flyer answer, etc. So we're going to still cast this Visionary and see what's up. Edge is going to help us in that regard. What do we need to kill here, if anything? The flyers are annoying right now, but they're small. We could edge the Protege, which will cause us to lose a long game. Maybe we hold the edge, and but what does the Augur do that we care about? I mean, it could get a lot bigger. It could become a whatever 4, but it's still a whatever 4, and I think we can handle a 4 on the ground. And I would rather get rid of the card quality engine that we're about to face. I'm going to do that. Well, let's see. I got to go no attacks. That buys us a little more time here. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to go, but what do we want to grow? charger, I guess. Now charger has enough power to single block the auger as well. Nice one. Makes a bigger flyer, but need to find more edges, I guess. Ah. Well, now we're kind of in waiting to die mode. I'm going to sandbag the land and continue to hold. Hodge says, spread counters around and top deck Malkin, get some trample, is what the suggestion is. That is all we've got. Trouble is our clock is very, very short to get there. How do I handle dealing with tilt when I get flooded? I allow myself to be frustrated. First and foremost, I am a tilty guy. There are some people I know, say Mike Turian is one of the most tilt-proof people I've ever met. He's the most tilt-proof for being as good and competitive as he is. Hall of Fame Magic player who lets losses roll off like nothing. I only bring it up because lots of things are capable of tilting me, and mana issues are certainly one of them. But when I feel that tilt, I then process, I try to remind myself that, hey, this is not in my control. It's frustrating, but this is not one of those factors of a Magic game that I can actually control. And so I'm wasting my time and emotional energy being upset about it. I need to focus on the things that I can affect. And I can't affect flood or screw beyond my mana base. So I'm not going to worry. Like, yeah, we're flooding. And also, another mantra of mine as I face Magic tilt of all kinds, like no matter what about Magic is tilting me, my number one go-to settle down thought is, Ryan, if the worst thing about your day is related to how your Magic the Gathering is going, you have a sweet life, my friend. And that usually does it. But I will never tell you I don't tilt. I tilt all the time. I'm I try to employ measures to contain. And Oppo got us. Good work. We thought we were waiting to die there, and it turns out we were. But we have one more. It's best of 3. We can come back and stomp them here. Should we just switch to red? Trouble is our red doesn't have enough 2s. That's what we kind of established. If you look at our 2-drops, note that they're all white, like literally. If we go red, we have Magmut, Kerr, Dragonfire for removal, but then like it all falls off. So I'm gonna run it back. We just had to get lucky. Yeah, Hat talks about streamer tilt. Something I've learned early on. You know, one of so knowing, it's kind of funny to. I'll try to play. Boy, we've been a little off on the mana. We're going first. We have a 3/1 to start. That's pretty good, but we are going to run into goblin tokens probably right away. I'm going to mulligan. That was close, but just got worse. Keeping that, ditching one land and the short sword, and hoping that this is enough. Oppo pausing makes me think there's a shock there that they didn't want to use. Oh yeah, streamer tilt. I was saying early on, knowing that I was a tilty guy and not wanting to be off-putting to people, knowing that Magic can tilt me, when I started streaming, I really tapped into my poker anti-tilt wells to the best of my ability to like really put a lid on tilt and really not get pissed off when things weren't going well for me. And one of Marshall's first comments to me, some constructive criticism on how my streaming was going, he said, "You're not feeling the bad stuff enough. Like you're managing your tilt too well. Like I think people are getting tilted on your behalf and don't understand why you're not a little bit upset." At what's going on. And it made me realize that he was right, and that basically that I need to find within myself a modulation of my tilt in which I express earnestness. I'm not lying with my emotions to you, but I can certainly turn up or down the heat on my own emotions, right? When I'm feeling something, I can bottle it up a bit and be a very adult about it. Or I can put no filters on, let loose, and just get super pissed, right? So I found the trick of streaming is to always be earnest about your emotional reactions, but understanding where to modulate them so that people get you and know that you're feeling it too, but you're not being off-putting with it. So we'll put a Malkin token on the Charger, which is great. Gives it trample and gives it an attack here. This is about the most perfect draw we could hope for this particular board. Bill Hellmuth takes it too far, right? Like, I mean, it's his brand, so I can hardly argue with the Hellmuth brand working, but I think he needs to modulate down a little bit. Although I feel it. I feel him, you know. If this game didn't have so much luck in it, I'd win every time. I don't believe that. I believe that is a Phil Hellmuth quote. So I don't want to... well, this is more obviously tokens, right? And are we willing to trade the Charger for 2 throwaway cards? Token, you know, a scanner and a token, or 2 tokens? I'm going to say no. we could, although we could save it. I guess the Charger can get, we'll use the Savior to save it if need be, so I will send the Charger. Yeah, the Charger has trample and can be saved, so. We're in a solid spot here. It depends on what they do this coming turn, on what kind of mana they leave up, etc. But if we can untap with a Hunter's Edge and this quantity of creatures with the Pride Maul and trample, and them at 5, I'm kind of happy, but 6 cards, 5 mana, red, blue, we are not out of this. We are not done. And watch them hold it all up to really make it agonizing. Protege, I like them committing stuff to the board just because it reduces the options, but they still have a couple mana, a lot of options. Not the draw we wanted to see. We can Hunter's Edge. What's the risk? If they've got burn in response, we just might have to save here, is the bottom line. If they have bounce, that's the real problem, because Savior doesn't help with bounce. So we're going to edge the Protege, yes, and I'm going to do it from Pride Malkin? Yeah, we could play Lofty, good point. But we can't play it. They have a flyer, so it way counters us. Doesn't actually help. And edge on Visionary, yeah, and then attack all and make him have it. Seven, 6, 5, 4. So we trample for 4 plus 2 more. This forces them to have a spell. But if they do, they can get pumped up defenders. But still, I'm going to attack. We're trying to win on a mulligan to 5 here, so I'm going to be hyper-aggressive and make him have it and use the Savior as we need to. And if this doesn't work out, I'm okay knowing that we really did what we had to do, which is press whatever advantage we could find. So right now we don't need to do anything. We win, right? So 2... If nothing happens, we win. So let's make him do something first. All right, so there's that, as we thought. So now we're going to save the Visionary. And we still get the Trample, which is nice. Or actually, do we care about Visionary? Let's see what we want to trade. Let's let this resolve. Let's let this resolve. And then look at the situation. So, yeah, we need to do this because by saving it, we get the trample damage. We get the trample here no matter what. So I'm going to save the Visionary so that we get the trample damage. Close, but not quite. As we all know, 1 is not 0. This is pretty blank. I don't think we're going to get attacked anytime soon. Rough. Exactly the kind of card they can come back with, and exactly the kind of draw we did not want to see. Oh, that's brutal. That's just brutal. Gang. All right. I think we did what we could, but now we are immediately in trouble. I'm going to play the Forest too. We do have a feat, right? A feat of resistance off of monocolored defenders would win us the game. All right. As I said, feel it. Let it go. We're all lucky here, right? I'm lucky to be playing Magic on TV, and you are lucky to be hanging out watching people play Magic on TV. We're all lucky. I didn't say you're lucky to be watching me. I said you're lucky to be watching Magic. Well, what were we holding Swift for? I could have waited one more second, I suppose. Now I need him to attack with Sky Scanner, and we need to draw feet. We can still win this. Pretty happy with how this all ended up, given that we are flooded after mulling to 5, and we have Oppo at 1. So it's looking less and less likely that we're going to get him to 0, but I feel pretty good about how we managed this game. But now it's frustrating because I do feel like I'm waiting to die. At 1 to 21, our favor, I feel like I've lost. Oh my god. We even draw the feet, but they've got a Sky Scanner. Well, we have a 2-turn out then. I can't do a preemptive feat, or they just... Yeah, I have to stay back. But edge and defeat would be a win. So we're going to hope we find an edge and not die this turn. Sky Scanner has been a, quote, safe attack for Oppo for a long time, and they haven't been... Not a long time, for a couple turns, and they haven't attacked with it. So I'm pretty sure Oppo is specifically playing around the feet. It would be sweet, though, here to draw a Hunter's Edge and actually pull this off. They might be doing math on a possible lethal here. Like, we have to do some math ourselves if they attack, but I'm going to wait till they do attack. Of course, guaranteeing that we're going to draw the... Yeah, I guess we first we have to feat now, which is awful. We have to. There's just no other. There's no other option. Gosh, they even attack with the scanner, and we like. Okay, so they weren't playing around it, because if Oppo, like, sees the feat and could imagine us having a second copy of feat in the deck, they wouldn't attack with the Sky Scanner. I really can't believe that Oppo did that. I shouldn't say that. I can totally believe it. On my bad day, I'm going to do that too. But why not red? We were literally trying to stop the Frost Breath from happening. Had to. So we'll take it. But the... Well, stream sniped is one thing. I guess if they stream sniped and heard me say we only have 1 feat, that would be one thing. But to not play around the possible second feat, I think was a mistake. But look at this. I mean, come on. We did our best. What a disappointing loss, given how close we came and how tough it was to fight that fight, but we lost. Ugh. No, there are no outs there. There aren't. We mulliganed to 5 and then flooded badly in our relatively low to the ground deck. So that we even got close was pretty cool. That we had outs we could name was pretty cool. Losing, not as cool though. Really tough to get your opponent to 1 like that and then fail to close. But we're white-green as well. It's not like we could draw a shock or something. Well, now it's all on the line. Do we get 1,000 gems back out of this or a big fat goose egg? Hopefully 1,000. Let's make it happen. No 2s, but a keep. Happy to see both colors. Good doggy. Yeah, I'm going to save the point. Do it now. Eventually, save your trades for something. So might as well actually play the 2 I have, right? Also, we're going to be a little prone to flood in the deck. We're short on playables, for one thing, but we're running 17 land, 2 visionaries. So on some level, I'm asking for a little flood, but it was necessary based on current situation. Here, I'm going to offer... We don't need the visionary, so I'm going to offer ours for theirs, then drop the sentinel. Not even a 4-4. I wish 4-4, Razor. This is a sign of the draft we had, where we had Naya colors throughout the draft and only figured out kind of where we were at the very end. This is an interesting double situation, though. We get to put a counter on the Sentinel, make it a 5-4, and then to block it requires a 2-for-1 on their part, and we can even charge it up to boot. So a nice sequence here. Actually, I could go... I'm going to go Visionary. If I go Visionary, we can attack with both. Visionary doesn't have an attack without it. And they might take the trade, but we'd be fine with that too. Both of these attacks are good in this situation. Prideful Kitty. We're going to take that, and the race is on. Again, our deck is somewhat prone to flooding, so it's not a huge surprise, but still a little frustrating. In this case, we're offering it all, though. I'm going to send everything, and we'll trade for their kitty. As they've got possible feat here. So we could be trading for a feat and giving them a counter on their kitty, but I still want to do that, and it still doesn't kill the Sentinel. Yeah, swift response maybe would be the worst because you lose our Sentinel. It's not like we can not engage in the race here. We got to just see what they've got. Well, here we are, holding them down, and then having the turnaround play in our face again. How about something not a land? How about the worst non-land draw in our deck? Or that. That's cool. We'll take that. Could be another feat situation, but I don't think... At least there's no... Our floor here is spending 4 mana to put a +1/+1 counter on the Charger. So we're going to make him have it. Feat would be nice, because we could give this pro-white, drop off the Faiths, and attack. Hey, Nutter. Good to see ya. Mahalo. Did we get there? Well, sorry, we can't win on this anyway. But that's a good start. Oh yeah, Oppo. Second Sentinel. You heard it here, second. Here we go again. Are you kidding me? All right. We have some time, but we're at 10. They just can't attack, though. That's got to be our hope here. Uprising itself doesn't allow for an attack. They need another creature, and even another creature doesn't allow for an attack. We still technically have a win right here if they don't have anything. We just have to decide if we're risking it against 3 cards. These are 3 lands, and we attack with these 2 creatures, we straight up win. Wow, Oppo, don't do that, folks. I know that when you see the deadness in your hand, you might want to scoop. We had tough calls there. We had tough calls about whether or not to go for that or not. And knowing how conservative I am at times like that, I probably would not have gone for the win. So, a note. So is this a dub matchup? We've got potential return to nature blowouts mid-combat. So I don't like the dub or the sword, really, given return to nature could suddenly blow us out. What could we bring in, though? We're looking at Light of Promise. Silent Dart. What about short sword out, Silent Dart in, leave the secure the scene in? Silent Dart can get hit by the return as well, but at least it's taken out a card there. Yeah, we could cut a land and put in another Dart. Feels a little pushing it, though. I'd rather ensure we hit our land drops. I'm gonna give this a try. You're right, we're prone to flood here, but can't quite bring myself to go 16 and add in another clunker. Goblin Puzzle following up with a grammatical correction. I salute you. All right, can do this. Yeah, I mean, sure, if you're just like, my mental health is going to be better if I scoop this game right now, but that spot right there does not seem like a mental health scoop. It seems like an early scoop. Coming up Millhouse here. Sorry, Oppo. Although maybe they drop a planes and have the feet of resistance, but I'm really happy that we lucked into an answer to that thing. I could even attack. There's like no way they block, but I'm going to say no. I'll say no attacks. It helps reinforce that we just don't have it here. Oh man, what have I done to deserve this? Yeah, Guile would have been a real punishment for us there. Must be true. Must be that I am an objectively good person. I agree. Let's go with that. Clean living. I don't know, Cardinator. I'm going to go with I am special. That's where I've landed. I don't mind if they do something to pick off the Sentinel here. We have a Dreadmaw behind. So them using resources to pick off the Sentinel is good for us. Track down, probably looking for a planes for them. I bet they have some unlocked cards, or some locked cards in their hand that they're looking to unlock. There it is. Well, if they're holding the fetters, we're going to find out soon enough, because I'm going to attack with this Peggy. And drop a Dreadmaw. Deep thought going deep indeed for the gags. Well, veterans abound. We're gonna challenge them again. Send in Dreadmaw, Pegasus, and ask what they've got. No pause whatsoever. 6, 7. If we go 8 here, it doesn't actually change our clock. So I'm going to pass and see if they want to do anything. And we can counter it up at the end of their turn. We're going to put a counter on the Pegasus. Our 6/6 is already big. It does have trample, but this has straight up evasion. So we're going to try to make our Pegasus bigger rather than make our biggest threat bigger yet. Dub. Well, now I'm going to change my mind and go on the Dreadmaw, because they're looking... We now got a size race on the ground. Yeah, we could put one on the Veteran, but I don't think we need... The Veteran... If we're putting it on the Veteran, why? I intend to tap the Veteran every turn for the rest of the game to put a counter on something else. And I'm going to go against what I just said and put it on Dreadmaw so that we stay ahead on the ground size race. And Charger, I'm going to put on the Pegasus for the free damage. And then we have the activation on the Dreadmaw to keep it right-sized. This is not a forced block per se, but it's kind of close. Again, we can go for a counter here or wait. In this case, a counter does change the clock. If we put 1 on the Pegasus and they take 4 more, they take 11, that ensures the Pegasus is lethal next turn. It doesn't change the clock, says guards. If we go 7, 8, 9, 10, and they go to 2, then Pegasus can still get 1 more counter and become 2 again. That's true. So I will... It doesn't change the clock, so I'm going to let it happen. One presumes if they had an answer to the Pegasus, they already would have played it. So yeah, it just looked like they were top-decking an answer to the Pegasus or not, and they failed. So while we did not get our profit meme today, we did get some gold back, or some gems back. That's good. I'll add that in case we want to try it later. Claim this prize. Maybe we got some packs to open? Yeah, ooh, look. Double open. Nice. Big mythic. Wild card. No mythics here. Alright, fine. Get in here, Eldraine. 20 to try and remember. Never remember that. Try to make a note of it, though. Okie doke. So now I'll probably narrow this down through some elimination voting. So this isn't going to be the final vote, but what we have on to start with is Eldraine draft, a bot draft. I posted a bot draft on YouTube to see what kind of interest and response it would get. And the answer was a lot, actually. Oh, and speaking of YouTube, I should say, sorry, I didn't mean to drag you along in this part, YouTube friends. We'll see you at the next event, and which might be a bot draft. We'll see. Bye.